Yo, what is good, my anime people? What is good, yo? Oh my god, guys, this day of anime was absolutely nutty, and I gotta hop straight into it because I got things to do, and I want to get both videos out to you guys with it all on Twitter and Anime Amimo, so let's get into it. This week's episode of Bound Stray Dogs is close to one of my favorites. I mean, it's not necessarily my favorite only because of just how much could ride on what happens pretty soon here, and to think that I'm gonna have to pretty much see maybe the end of one of the cooler guys and one of the best bosses that, you know, was around to help everybody. It sucks, man. It really freaking sucks. But all that being said, I'm pretty sure with how this all plays out, it's gonna be pretty sick. With the bosses of the Port Mafia and agency fighting each other like a heads-on battle, just to literally, um, try to make sure their family slash co-workers don't get hurt. I don't even think they're workers anymore, they're like definitely families. How the boss is treating this situation, like, why would he go out of his way to die for these people? And I'm talking about the Port Mafia's boss more than the other one, but why would he go out of his way if he's supposedly the most important part of, the squad of the Port Mafia? So it gives you that feeling of he definitely cares for a certain amount of people in the Port Mafia, so much so that regardless of what happens during these battles, there's no good outcome for either squad. Someone's about to get a loss, and I mean, they went to the point where we almost lost three of our members easily, like back to back together, with this Lemon Man going on a runaway, and that pretty much was the end all be all of the whole entire ordeal when he shows up. But the other thing that's really crazy is we never get another sight of the Gravity guy and our detective. So that kind of was also like, uh-oh, like what's actually popping off inside of that book of that he's, actually brought him in. Is that guy smart enough to, figure out certain things in a fake made up world? Or is he going to literally be able to be controlled by his emotions, kind of like how Dazai can easily control him when he's off of his game? So, with all that being said, we get right back into what's actually popping off too in the battles, and my god, like, to see Demon Snow like sneaking up on, or not even sneaking up, but working in coordination with this little assassin girl. They're such a dirty team, and I wish that we could see, her like true growth in the overall end game of all of this. Like, I would love to see what her character becomes when it's all said and done. But this show is not a very forgiving one. And when I say that, she's gone and done some of the, like, almost, she's done almost all the dirty work this week's episode. Like, she's the one who went in and infiltrated from, like the shadows to do the actual assassination. And then when it came down to, the guy who went in the first time, the Fallen Snow guy, he was really just there for as a decoy, as a uh, kind of a hostage situation for the Port Mafia to feel in power with only one of them being there, and then finding out that Fallen Snow is, if not, he's a one of the dopest assassins, if not one of the strongest, because of his ability of making illusions and never actually being there after throwing out an attack and then practically disappearing. Um, What else I saw within this episode of how they're playing things out is the way this mastermind guy is moving, the way he's just doing whatever he does and really not caring. You know what I mean? Like, he literally goes out, bodies everybody in sight that is truly a problem. The guy who with the glasses who has the ideal book, there was someone who kind of tested his like patience, his demeanor, his everything, tested if he could break him or not even break him, but he just wanted him to suffer some type of way for some type of reason. Uh, because he wanted him to suffer and because he was doing this to this guy, it then showed that he could overcome some ridiculously like wild trials. But with the mastermind doing pretty much the same thing, but at a quicker, precise, and eviler level than the first one, the guy who literally like made this guy with his ideals do some like almost like seemingly have to pick between letting someone die or getting away himself, and he still stayed there and protected that girl. I'm pretty sure that happened in an OVA actually, which is really awesome because it just goes to show you that this show didn't waste any of its money or any of its time giving us a story that wasn't going to lead into the further narrative of another, like action or even what has previously occurred with our guy who's completely, not acting as himself because of what's happened, but at the same time he wants to still be a part of this. It's just he has no actual like goals in fighting the port mafia as much as he just wants to protect everybody from the fight that's going to occur. I mean, and to be fair, the agencies took it straight to them, so because of that, um, they know, they know exactly what's crossing the line in some cases, in the sense of they know that once they start going in and fighting the Port Mafia on their own grounds, if anything leaves that area and hurts innocents, then that's all on them. But because they're straight up rushing the Port Mafia and the Port Mafia can practically handle itself, that was just an easier way to make sure nothing got out of hand. So pretty smart on their move on their part, but overall it's just one of the craziest episodes that pop off. Not to mention that it all leads back to an area that is unknown by even Dazai and our great Sherlock Holmes master level detective, I'm guessing. Because actually, I think he was the one who calls Dazai and talks to him. I'm not sure. No, no, I gotta, man. This episode was so good, and then I watched another show that was just as good. It messes up my brain. So much hype. But if it was the detective guy that was talking, or he showed up at any time after he has gone inside that book, then I'm pretty sure the gravity guy is out too. Then so, um, that would be, that would just go to show that the Port Mafia is still got the upper hand when it comes down to full-on power. But yeah, what I was saying about Demon Snow was probably one of the best things she almost did was taking out one of their strongest members, which I think is another reason why the boss is so quick to hop out of his deathbed when he's feeling a little bit better and go to fight a one-on-one battle, because he has such powerful and talented, gifted members. To lose any of those, he might as well have killed him himself because of him being on this deathbed. So I don't know. I'm really entertained with how this is all playing out. I'm not sure if anybody actually, um, you know, doesn't like this show and still watches it for some reason, for some odd reason. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I definitely need to hop on to a JoJo video because JoJo was absolutely hype as well. But seeing how this show did come out early, I was up really early and I never knew what show came out first, JoJo or this show, and I learned very quickly that Dogs is out pretty early. So I want to give it the first spot, and I will definitely talk to you guys very soon on JoJo. So thank you so much for the support on all these videos. I wish I could have started back on season 1 when I really got into this show and done all the reviews up till now, but it's still a blessing in disguise to be able to talk to so many amazing people who love this show as much as I want to continue to love this show, because to be fair, I haven't read anything on this and all that stuff, and all I've seen is the anime. So to know that there's other source material out there that I can fall in love like over again, because that's kind of what happened with me on Hunter x Hunter. Like, I watched the anime and then I started reading it, and I got to fall in love with the series all over again because there was new content that I haven't even seen before. So I can't wait to try to do that with this series. I hope you guys have an amazing day, night, evening, whatever the case may be. I am your boy, the Anime G, and I definitely will talk to you very soon. So with that, peace. Dang, girl.